What's good, YouTube? Here we are. NF. Now, I've listened to a couple of NF songs. I do know some of them. I have never reacted to any of his songs, and I have definitely not checked out his catalog. I've probably heard maybe about 10 songs of NF that like The Search. I know that one. I'm going to react to it at some point. I'm trying to think because I don't know him that well, but I have a couple of his songs on my iPod that I'm like, oh, this is really cool. But I don't know enough about him. I know that he what I do know about him. I do know that one time he was a Christian artist, and now he says he's not a Christian artist, but he does a lot of Christian theme music. I know he doesn't cuss in his music, which I love as a pastor. And I love that he talks about his emotions a lot. I know he talks about his emotions as if they're people, and he goes through all of his struggles, and I really can relate to this. So, you guys asked me in the comments, hey, can you do Oh Lord from NF? And I was like, absolutely. But you guys got to give me grace. I'm going to go down this bunny trail, but it's going to be a little slow. I got to get through my other ones. And if you do me another favor, please hit that like and subscribe button. We are on the road to 10,000, then 50,000, then 100,000. We're trying to grow the channel, and I really value you guys, and I really appreciate it because I can't do it without you. But with all that said, let's hear what NF has to say. NF, come on, talk to me, bro. I'm excited about this one. Oh, it's a slow one. I love guitar. You can hear that. Sorry, you can hear the hand changing on the guitar in between the notes. It's pretty cool. Happens with the guitar. Slide. Wait. Right there. Right there.
When I die, put my ashes in the trash bag.
Why?
I don't care where they go.
Truth.
Don't waste your money on my gravestone. I'm more concerned about my soul.
He's speaking facts here, although I tell people, hey, I want to be buried. I don't want to be cremated when I die. So, of course, I'm going to disagree. Because I'm a liberal. That's what I do. No, to each their own on that one. But I love that because, like, hey, this body is I don't care about this body. I care about my soul. You know, and when I talk to people, I will say something like this. I'm like, you know, when I'm talking about God and they're like, I'm not interested. And I was like, you know, can I just ask you a question? I was like, would you sell me one of your eyeballs for $1 million? And they're like, well, no. I'm like, would you sell me both of your eyes for $1 billion? If it was a real deal. And they're like, absolutely not. And I'm like, why? Because like my eyes are priceless. And I'm like, you're right. They are priceless. But your eyes are just the windows to your soul, which has so much more value. And that's what he's talking about here. And I love this.
I don't care where they go. Don't waste your money on my gravestone. I'm more concerned about my soul. Everybody's gonna die.
Facts.
Don't everybody live though.
Oh, that's a bar.
Sometimes I look up to the sky and wonder, do you see us down here? Oh Lord.
Oh, he's speaking like the words I've actually said and things I've struggled with. So the first thing he says is, everybody's gonna die, but not everybody lives. And I find that to be true. Like, we have such a short window on, I should probably move over here. Oh, I'm gonna hit everything. We have such a short window. You know, it's called this, our life is a dash. And you're like, what do you mean a dash? It's a dash. There's a birth date and there's a death date. And in between that is that dash on our tombstone. Born, dash, dies, right? And that's our life. It's a vapor. And a lot of us don't live. And then he says, I wonder, sometimes I look up to the sky and I wonder, do you see us down here, oh Lord? And I remember, man, I used to get panic attacks. I used to look at the sky and all the stars, like, especially when I was going out camping and trying to get alone. And I would have panic attacks. I'm like, God, you're so big and I'm so small and insignificant. How would you, like, do you even know who I am or my name? Like, it was so, like, are you even concerned with my life? And I was in a really dark place for a long time with God on that. And that's what he sounds like he's doing here. Oh.
Don't everybody live though?
And I know it's the lyric video.
Sometimes I look up to the sky and wonder, do you see us down here? Oh,
And he's got great tone with his voice.
Lord.
Ooh.
Oh, Lord. Do you
Love
see us
this.
down here? Oh, Lord.
Ooh.
Oh, Lord. Do you see us down here? Oh, Lord.
So good.
Oh, Lord. Do you see us down here? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
I already know this one's going on my iPod. Already.
Listen. Yeah, everybody wants change. Don't nobody want to change though.
I've talked about this in my previous videos. Everybody wants to change, but no one wants to be the change. And in order to see change, we got to be the change. If we want to see love or receive love, then we've got to be love to other people. And it's easy to love those who love us, but if we want to see love from the other side, the other part of the aisle, those who we consider our enemies, we've got to show love to them. Oh, he's speaking facts.
Listen. Yeah, everybody wants change. Don't nobody want to change though. Don't nobody want to pray.
Oh, true.
Till they got something to pray for.
Oh, snap.
Now everybody's gonna die, but don't everybody live though? Sometimes I look up to the sky and wonder, do you see us down here?
Oh, he's building this up. It's so good. The beat is so good. It's very theatrical. I love that. And we already broke down some of the bar, but he says nobody wants to pray until they got something to pray for. And and I agree with that. Like, we treat God as a genie, right? I remember a guy came to my church and he's like, you know, I just want to know it all right now. Why can't God just give me revelation right now and tell me everything? And I was like, to be honest with you, he doesn't do that, because once you have that, you won't come to him anymore. You know, we only come to him. We don't call it Jesus. We call him Genie Jesus, right? We only come to him when we need something. And he wants a relationship with us. Oh, it's so good.
Now everybody's gonna die, but don't everybody live though? Sometimes I look up to the sky and wonder, do you see us down here? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Do you see us down here? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Do you see us down here? Oh Lord. Oh
Sorry,
Lord.
guys.
Do you see us down here? Oh Lord.
My bad.
It's easy to blame God, but harder to fix things. We look in the sky like, why ain't you listening?
Ooh.
Watching the news in our living rooms on the big screens,
Yeah.
and talking about if God's really real and where is he?
How many of you guys have said that? I've said it sometimes even as a pastor. You know, I look at all this stuff going on, I'm like, God, what's going on? And I know the biblical answer, you know, what's happening, but sometimes it's just like, God, can you please intervene in these circumstances? It's getting really messy. And the thing is, he is. We don't see it, but he is. NF. There's a reason why I had to wait on you, dude. You're going to get in my feels. You're going to break me down. I'm telling you.
Oh Lord, do you see us down here? Oh Lord. Oh Lord. It's easy to blame God, but harder to fix things. We look in the sky like, why ain't you listening? Watching the news in our living rooms on the big screens, and talking about if God's really real and where is he? You see, the same God that we're saying might not even exist becomes real to us, but only when we're dying in bed. When you're healthy, it's like we don't really care for him then. Leave me alone, God, I'll call you when I need you again.
We just talked about this. We only go to, but I love what he said here first. He says, and talking about God, if God's really real, then where is he? You see, the same God that you're saying might not even exist becomes real to us, but only when we're dying in bed. Like, God becomes real when we're going through a real struggle, right? And it's interesting to me, and I don't mock this, and I say this with sincerity of heart, but even like those who don't believe in God, atheists, right? They'll come to me and they'll be adamant in God doesn't exist, and that's fine. You can go, and that's fine if that's where you land. But when they go through a huge crisis, a life-changing crisis, those same people will come to me and say, hey, can you pray for me? And I'm like, absolutely, and I will. And I find it interesting. I'm like, but I thought you didn't believe in God. You know, but we do. Because we're desperate in those times, right? And most people only call on God when they're desperate. He's speaking in facts here.
Comes real to us, but only when we're dying in bed. When you're healthy, it's like we don't really care for him then. Leave me alone, God, I'll call call you when I need you again. Which is funny, everyone will sleep in the pews and blame God for our problems like he's sleeping on you. We turn our backs on him, what do you expect him to do? It's hard to answer prayers when nobody's praying to you.
Yeah, why, God, aren't you answering my prayers? God's like, why aren't you praying? I'm not a genie. I'm a father. Can you imagine being in a relationship with like your spouse, and the only time you talk to your spouse is you're like, good morning, thank you for my breakfast. That's it. And good night, thank you for my meal on this day. And that's it. You have no conversations otherwise. And then when you're going through good things, like, will you please help me? I'm going through a hard time. But there's no other relationship. We wouldn't be in that relationship very long, huh? And that's what he's saying, man. God, why aren't you answering prayers? Like, it's hard to answer when no one's praying. Like, talk to me. Come to me, he says. Oh, this is gonna be an incredible journey.
Oh God, I'll call you when I need you again. Which is funny, everyone will sleep in the pews and blame God for our problems like he's sleeping on you. We turn our backs on him, what do you expect him to do? It's hard to answer prayers when nobody's praying to you. I look around at this world we walk on, it's a smack in the face, don't ever tell me there's no God. And if there isn't, then what are we here for? And what are y'all doing down there? I don't know, Lord. Oh Lord, do you see us down here?
I know he's called Real Music, right? NF Real Music. This is real.
Do you see us down here, oh Lord?
Oh, that's so
Can you
beautiful.
see us down here, oh Lord? Oh Lord, oh Lord.
You can hear it in his voice. Sounds like he's crying.
Can you see us?
Oh, so beautiful.
Don't you see us? Don't you see us?
What I love about NF's voice is it's a lot like Tom McDonald, right? They don't have the greatest voices in the world, but he knows how to use his voice the right way for the song. I mean, you feel it. I feel it. And I'm just like, man, this song takes me back to those times I was crying out, like, God, where are you? Like, are you real? Why don't you hear me? It reminds me of the movie with Forrest Gump and his buddy that's in the military is on that ship crying out and you know, making his peace with God. I think all of us have to come to that place at some point. And I know I had to come to mine. I had two experiences with God. I had my first coming to Jesus moment, which defined the rest of my life. And then I had a 5-year gap where I was really, really hurt by the church, and I walked away from the church. And in that time is when I started having panic attacks and fear and just not understanding who God was. And then I had another coming back moment when I came back to the Lord. And this song brings me back to both those places. So there's your NF reaction. Oh, I'm going to love going on this journey, and I'm going to hate it at the same time. I'm going to love it because he's going to speak to my soul. I'm going to hate it because he's going to speak to my soul, and I'm going to get in my feels. Guys, if you can hit that like and subscribe button as we go on this journey as well. And also, I don't know the NF catalog, so if you can hit me up with some songs. Now, I'm going to be slow at first. I'm going to hit them every once in a while, but I will eventually start piling them in. I have a little list that I've made that I put all the recommendations of songs in, so throw them in there, and I will get to them. God bless you guys. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you later.